week of work for us, and instead of getting on planes and going to recruiting, we get an opportunity to go play again, and we're excited about that.
Thank you.
Coach, your offense was stalling there in that first half, three and outs in a row, only 8 yards of offense, but on third downs, you got the 70-yard pass play to Alex. Really seemed to change and uplift you guys. What was the feeling on the sideline, and how much did you guys kind of need that to get back in the game?
Well, we definitely needed some big plays to get us going a little bit, and any good team, any team feeds off emotion. It's important to play when you get a big play on offense or defense or special teams. It can get you in the moment with the momentum. I thought we were prepared and ready to play. I thought we came out in a good situation. We handled senior day well. The bottom line is that they were very physical up front in the beginning of those games. The credit goes to Minnesota. That play was big. Andy came in with the mindset, Coach Ludwig came in with the mindset that he wanted to take a couple shots on third and short to try to loosen them up, and that was a big difference when we were able to get the safeties to at least back off a little bit, but that didn't happen until we completed a few of those balls down the field.
Yeah, you talked about calling a few things. What was the plan with Corey? Because it appeared that he was not 100%. I'm guessing he just wanted to try to spell Melvin. And can you just talk about the toughness he showed to be able to give you what he did today?
Yeah, Corey was good. I joked out there afterwards, I should have fresh legs, he hasn't practiced all week. So, but he's done a great job of just working to get himself back in and be ready to go. And that was exactly the plan, just use him as needed. At least we've gone through a couple scenarios where we didn't have him and we had to use our timeouts to spell Melvin instead of Corey spelling Melvin. So the ability for Corey to come in and not just come in and spell Melvin and make tremendous plays. I mean, the run he made for the touchdown was fantastic. The other one, he just came up short. It was 2 big-time runs and big-time moment when we needed him. And that's, another guy. And this football team steps up. And if I look back however many years from now and I remember this team in my mind, one of the first things that's going to pop up is how many kids had to step up, either as a first-year player or at some point in the season to do some things to help us, win football games. But Corey was a big part of that offense today.
Yes. Gary, did Melvin tweak an ankle at the end, and then Dan Volts, I know he wasn't out there at the end. Can you update on what happened?
It looks like Danny had a little bit of an ankle. The last series, we just kept him out. He played the last drive. He was in the scoring drive for Pastor Robert Wheelwright. He was in there for that drive, and then we decided to just get him out. He'll be fine. And Melvin, he looked great. He was jumping around pretty good there in the locker room about 5 minutes ago. So I think he should be just fine.
Right. Very pretty efficient day for Joel throwing the ball. And how much has he come along the last 2 weeks? Seems like he's getting better.
Joel's throwing the ball very nicely. The deep balls, a couple PIs, those are right on target. They're coming down right on top of Alex in those situations. I really believe that he feels comfortable with his protection now, and probably as comfortable, I believe, as he's been since we've all been here together. I think he thinks, hey, this is going to get blocked up. I'm going to have a chance to throw the ball. He seemed to feel very, very well. Even the check down, there's a play there today where checked it down to Melvin. It was good coverage. They checked it down to Melvin. We didn't gain any yards, but Melvin caught it. And those are just things where, hey, let's just get to the next play in some of those throw scenarios. And I think Joel is handling it very well. And trust me, I'm no offensive guru, but I look at him and I think he's a very talented quarterback playing out there right now, doing a very nice job.
Yeah, I know you can't speak for the Minnesota defensive coaches, but as a former defensive coordinator, late in that game, you see Wheelwright out there, and he hasn't caught a pass all year, and he's got 2 catches, 9 yards. Did you expect anything from him, and how'd you guys end up going to him on that play?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I hear those offensive calls, and they sound like a different language to me. So I don't understand who's in there. I saw Robert in there, and then I heard him say, I think it was Coach Beatty, just say, we got it, and looked down there, and the ball was in there, and they caught it. So I don't even know really the personnel package that was in there, but I'm glad they did it, and I'm glad they called it.
Were you surprised to see him, though, make that play there?
He was in a little bit earlier, and he was the read that was open. So when there's a pass play, the read that's open, and I will say this, I believe that Robert has grown up in practice over the last month or so, along with that whole core of those receivers. If you watch our past skeleton drills that we go through in practice, and if you threw on tape from 6 or 7, 8 weeks ago, and then you're throwing it on today, it's different, and it's different in a good way. There's kids making plays. There's kids' care factor is definitely blown up, and it matters to them, and that carries you through on game days. So their practice habits are allowing them to be able to make some plays, and today was a perfect example of that with Robert.
Tom?
Gary, how did you get from Northwestern to here? And do you feel good about the team you're taking to Indy?
You know, it's been a heck of a journey. And how did we get here? With some tremendous young men and some very talented coaches, in my opinion. You know, it's been a joy to coach them and be around them. And this year has been full of them just keep on fighting. And I felt like they had a lot of that in them as we went through a very difficult off season. When you listen to the strength coaches and they tell you how they handled summer, how they went through summer, how they bonded together. And then I would also say our leadership is it's phenomenal. It really is, truly is. This is the leadership committee on this football team is voted for early on, and they vote for those kids. But this is the first year that I didn't go back through and redo the leadership committee as far as having them vote again in the fall. And I look at the amount of kids that are on that leadership committee and how they've been excited about being involved with the youth of this team is so impressive. So the kids deserve the credit, and they bought in. I feel great about taking this team in. We're in a good spot. We're resilient. We're tough-minded. We're going to play against a very talented Ohio State team, obviously. We're excited about that opportunity, and these kids set a goal to get to this moment. And, you know, we're going to start preparing, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
How do you keep your kids from panicking when you get in a situation like today when you're down?
You know, I think you practice it, first of all. We try to compete every day, and there's winners and there's losers. And I think that's so important in the off season. I think it's important in spring practice, it's important in fall practice, and it's important as you go through the season. You need to keep competing every single day, and the kids need to know when they won and when they lost. Now, as far as handling and dealing with adversity, it's hard to make that up. You know, you can't just at practice all of a sudden say, okay, defense, this is your situation. It's a little bit harder to do that, but we do talk about it. We don't hide from it. We know it's going to come our way, and we ask ourselves how we're going to handle it when it does come our way. And we do communicate as far as, you know, you got to stay steady, Eddie. You got to believe in each other. You got to look each other in the eye and keep on battling when things don't go your way. It's easy to be that guy when everything's wonderful and great and be part of things. It's really hard to be that guy that's maybe the sounding board or the foundation when things are tough. And these kids have handled that. And I hope that we work with them in the off-season and put them in a position to practice, helps them handle those moments. They've been very good at it. And how coaches present themselves, too, I think is key. You know, if all of a sudden you're a different guy when things are bad than you are when things are good, and it's probably not going to go really well.
Coach Myrick is one of the top kick returners in the Big Ten. You guys kept the ball away from him. He just had the one return. Can you talk a little bit about Endicott and the efforts to kind of, you know, make sure that they didn't get that good field position with him?
Yeah, other than the first kickoff, I thought Andrew kicked the ball very well. He got the ball up in the air pretty good, which was good to see. We covered down the field pretty aggressively. Last 2 weeks, that kickoff team has done a nice job. They were challenged. They needed to be challenged, and they found a way to be able to answer the bell. So it all starts with the kick, and Andrew's doing a nice job with that. And those kids are flying down the field, really selling out. The punting, I'm proud of Drew. You know, the way Drew has come back in the last couple of weeks and punted the football. We had a scenario and a situation in there when we kicked Bart. Obviously, that wasn't the exact kick we were looking for. We had a situation where we really thought we had something that we could take advantage of. We wanted to see how they were going to line up to the simple formation that we put out there, and it was important that Bart was able to kick the ball, and then we didn't have to go back to it. But Drew's doing a nice job of punting the football right now, too.
All right.
When you have a day like this, senior day, and you see Marcus Trotter have the day he did out there, what does that mean to you to see him go out that way? It
means the world to me. Marcus Trotter is a kid that, and I'm probably repeating this to many of you, but you know, the first thing he says is just thanks for giving me the opportunity to play, Coach, when you tell him nice game, a great job, or thanks for believing in me. And that's come out of his mouth, you know, 4 or 5 times throughout the season, and it did again today. So as a coach, that's very satisfying to me. It's very, very satisfying to know that he bought in, he kept on fighting, he kept on believing in himself, he believed in the defense, he knew that position was his to take. And, you know, I remember in the summertime, that this is my spot. No one's going to take this inside linebacker spot from me my senior year. And to see him come out and not only hold his spot down, but I said it a week ago, I thought he was the best player a week ago on our defensive side of the football. And I'll watch this film again. And he made some big-time plays. He plays with such energy and passion. It's fun to see a young man like that have success. It really is.
Coach, if you can talk a little bit about the Ohio State matchup. I know they lost in that game last year to Michigan State. They're still looking at the possibility of trying to get in that playoff picture. So what kind of game do you kind of see maybe from Ohio State? Do you kind of see maybe they might come in with a little chip on their shoulder and still something to prove to try and get into that 4-team playoff?
Yeah, well, having the opportunity to work with Urban Meyer for a year, I know they're going to be ready to play. They're going to be excited, just like the Wisconsin Badgers will be ready to play, and they'll be excited too. So they may have a little bit of chip on their shoulder because they weren't successful in that game a year ago, and there's no question about that. But we're excited to be able to get into this game. We didn't set a goal at the first of the year to say, hey, let's just get to the championship game. No, that wasn't the goal. The goal was to find a way to beat champs, and we're still fighting for that, and we're moving on to one more game to see what happens. So Ohio State's a very talented, gifted team, very well coached. And a guy that's the head coach on the other side as well as you do. You've got to be careful. We're probably not going to chase a few ghosts that are out there sometimes too. But we're excited to be in the spot we are, and I'm sure Ohio State is also. And there's two, special teams playing. You get double-digit wins on the season, have an opportunity to go to conference championship, and you're part of the special crew.
Got time probably for two more, Jeff.
Gary, I know you said during the week, someone asked you about senior day, and you said you remember all the losses equally. I'm just curious if you can compare in your mind what you were feeling when you were up on the podium today with the trophy and this victory versus the way last year's regular season ended here, because I know that was a bitter defeat for you guys.
It was. That was it was a tough day. We played against a very talented team, and they executed, and they frankly deserved to win that football game, and did. And it was tough to see those kids go out that way when they've done so many things and fought so hard within the program. And for those kids to be able to go out on top and all that was on the line today, they're going to remember this for the rest of their lives. They get together 30 years from now, they're going to talk about this game. My senior day, we did this, we got that, we got this. There's a lot of special things that were out there today on the line for them. So to see them have that success, and I thought a lot about that game. You go back, and senior day is always different. It's a different field. The kids are, instead of it's a little thing, but you come off the field and you usually have 20 minutes to get ready. We have 10 now. And you're going to go stand in the only thing that really changed up was we kept the rest of the team in the alleyway down there, so as the seniors came out, they could be with them instead of having the kids on the field. I thought that was good, and it gives the kids a chance to be with their team for a minute. But I like this feeling right now a whole bunch better than I did a year ago. Let's put it that way.
We'll take two more. Got one on the back, one on the left, in the back.
Yeah, Coach, this year, talk about how important it was to have someone like Sam Andersen, be a big target for receiving yards.
Yeah, it's been big. Those tight ends have been big. Sam's another one. I don't talk enough about Sam. Not only he made tremendous plays, he's a big target. He's physical. He's made big-time catches, especially early in the year when it was harder for us to be able to throw the football successfully. He was always kind of that guy that was making those plays when we needed him. And he's been an unbelievable mentor also, and an unbelievable leader for that tight end crew. Troy Fumagalli would be nowhere near where he is today if not for Sam Andersen being a great mentor to him. And Sam is see the smile on his face today, and get to this position where he is in. It's a special spot. And he's really turned into a physical walker week in and week out. Another great young man, and a very, very talented football player.
On the left.
Gary, could you just excuse me, just assess Melvin's performance today, and also what is it felt like just to be his coach for the last 2 years and see his growth? Yeah,
Melvin is today. His performance was very physical. I thought he was unbelievably tough-minded and some tough sledding. There was a lot of tackles going down low on Melvin today, that's good defense. That's when you're going to play against a tremendous back. Those guys were good tacklers. They were physical tacklers. They wanted to get physical with him. But these last 2 weeks, you get the Iowa game and this game, and you'll have a hard time finding two more physical football teams playing against each other. And we've been playing both. So Melvin's handled that well. Again, the flashy runs, everybody sees those, and everybody sees those time and time and time again. The ones that I look at is when he's on the line of scrimmage and you need to get 4 yards and he's getting 5 or 6 yards. And I saw that again today. He was driven. He made a tremendous play, catch in the end zone there.